So I'm back. Yeah, what's going on, guys? So as you could see, I went through a bit of an upgrade in a few areas. I got the nice camera, and then I got a little backlighting here. This is all because I was starting to set up a stream. So I stream mostly Warzone, if you like that, Call of Duty Warzone. But I mean, I'll be getting into other games. I'll probably play Among Us here and there. GTA roleplay. I'll delve deep into some other stuff eventually, but right now I'm mostly Warzone. So if you like any of that, or you want to check me out on stream, come talk to me live, ask me about film. I love talking about film. I'll do it whenever. Go ahead and you can follow me on Twitter. I'll put it up here as well as in the description, and that's where I'll post my schedule week to week. It's going to be different as to when I'll be live. I've already gone live a couple times, but I'm going to start setting up a schedule, and that's where I'm going to post it. And then you can follow me on Twitch as well if you want. I'll put all my socials in the description in case you want to go follow me there, so you know when I'll be live. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into the review.
So they took maybe $20 and an old watch? Mr. Madsen, did you even take a swing?
No.
Could have taken her, Dad.
Heard you had some excitement last night. I wish they'd have picked my place, you know?
Nobody is about a family man who's kind of just going his day-to-day through the motions, slugging his way through work, his morning routine, missing the garbage man every morning. And then one day there's some intruders that come into his home, and he doesn't take advantage of stopping the intruders when he can, and they get away. And people are kind of disappointed. He's looking at his life kind of slightly miserable, just again going through the motions. And at that moment he decides that something's going to change. And his daughter's bracelet is gone, which he believes the robbers took. So he decides he's gonna go out, try to find them. And things get a little, they escalate on that night. Things get a little deeper than just going to find some home intruders. So it's gonna be really hard for me to kind of talk about this film without spoiling it, because the trailer does not give up much. The trailer, what I will say about the trailer is that it's kind of misleading, but not in a way that's bad in any way. I think it's actually a great misleading. I hope anyone watching this who watched that trailer and maybe wasn't too interested in it, because at least for me, when I watch it, I'm like, the combat in it doesn't seem crazy. I mean, it seems like a dad who just learning how to fight and trying to fight multiple people. It just doesn't seem as clean and whatnot. And I don't know if that was deliberate to fake out an audience, or if that was just at the time, maybe they did reshoots or something. I'm not sure, but the action is it's great, and the surprise that comes with it, it's just, the surprise is really that you just don't know much about the guy. Like, the film's name is Nobody. When you watch the film, he says he's nobody, but it's way deeper. It's way deeper than what the trailer shows. And so if you watch the trailer and you're like me, you're like, this seems like a type of film that maybe I'd be interested in, but I mean, it doesn't look like something I'm gonna just go out of my way to watch. I would go out of my way to watch it, and if you enjoyed the trailer and what it looked like, you're gonna enjoy the film. So go watch it. Basically, I'm just gonna give my basic review, just so I don't spoil anything, because it's really hard, and you'll see when you see the film why it would be tough for me. It was an incredibly enjoyable film. It was super fun to watch. There's a character in it who, I mean, you can see him on IMDb, but I would not go look at what I'm talking about. But it didn't take me until like the third act when they did a close up on his face. And I'm not talking about Bob Odenkirk, who's the main character, and he's phenomenal. I'm talking about a different character who, when I saw him, I was like, oh my god, this is that guy from that classic film. And it just like dawned on me in the middle of the film, and I just smiled for the rest of the movie every time I saw him, because it was just amazing. And I know he's been in other stuff, but for me, it just clicked, and I was like, that's nuts. I love that. What this feels like is it was produced, I think, from the same producers of John Wick. and it kind of feels like the first John Wick in a sense, where John Wick felt like it was really serious in a purposely cheesy way, but the action was really, really awesome. And this feels like it's just not being too serious, but the action is still really awesome. And when the action is happening, it's like, damn, like it becomes kind of serious in a way, but everything around the action is not like so serious, you know? And I think it was perfect for the film, and I think Bob Odenkirk was perfect for that. It's brutal, like I was gonna say, like the first John Wick. I think in John Wick 2 and 3, the kills started to get even more brutal. And I think this one was closest to the first, where the first was like there was still some cool brutal things that happened, and this same thing, pretty violent, and there's some cool brutal situations that happened. And I just I basically, that's where my review lies. Like the writing was great, the directing was great. Again, Bob Odenkirk, I loved him. He was awesome. It's not a perfect film. I feel like in order to keep some sort of realism in this, because I feel like what they were trying to do with this is like, even though this situation is kind of like one person versus all these people, is obviously not a realistic situation, they kind of try to put it in a way where it's like, if it could be a real situation, this is probably how it would. If there was somebody like him, this is probably how it would be. And so that causes a couple scenes in the movie where there's something that happens to him where he like kind of gets hurt, and it's like, dude, like you seem so smart here, but here this was kind of dumb, like you're moving really slow here, which gets him shot one time, and then he, you know, so that happened a couple times where you're like, they're probably just doing this because they didn't want to go the John Wick route of like the first John Wick, where it was like he was untouchable essentially. And you see that in the bus scene too, where it's like you know he's like not untouchable, but he's still, you know, he's still like fighting 1 versus 5, you know. I think that's gonna really be the extent of my review. I really, really, really enjoyed this film. I haven't seen a lot of films this year yet, and so, you know, it's gonna be tough for me to really gauge where I'm at, but right now this is a front runner. This is number 1 for me, and I will be watching all of the Best Picture nominees for the Academy Awards. I think so far I've seen like 3 or 4 of them already though, and I'll do a ranking of those. That's gonna happen. Definitely go see Nobody. Really, really good. It's an hour and a half. I was like, damn, that seemed, you know, I got home and I was like, that's like, by the time I got home from when it started, even though it only had like 2 trailers actually, I think, I was like I got time to do things and do this review and maybe edit it even and do all that. But so it's short, so it's not gonna like take out a crazy amount of your day. It's like the shortest that a cinematic film is going to be. And yeah, so go out of your way to watch it because it was great. And out of 10, I'm going to give this one an 8.6 out of 10. If you enjoyed this review, I'm going to start to get these rolling again. It's going to be tough because, you know, I'm going to be streaming a lot. Basically going to take my off days of work to try to really get a lot of these done and then edit them and then schedule them, this and that. But again, if you want to see me live, ask me anything about any films of this year, give me suggestions or questions or whatever, then go check me out in the description. Everything will be there. I hope you guys have a great day.